What's up, Agents here, and welcome back to another episode of Behind Locked Doors. Now today, you're joining me on my redstone testing world, because if you guys remember last episode, I explained to you what level 5 is going to be all about, and then after explaining all that, I went and did some experimentation on how I want to set this up. And this is actually effectively what we tried to put together last time. It unfortunately didn't go too well, but I did do a lot more experimenting in between episodes, and I've actually got a circuit that ends up working. So this is effectively how level 5 is going to work. Now I'm going to tell you guys right now, this is not going to be what's going to be put in to the actual level. This is more to exemplify how the level is going to end up working. So we have a really large pulse extender. And so the way this works, if you guys weren't aware, if you flick a lever, a pulse lever, it creates a pulse of redstone rather than a constant on-off output. And as you can see, that redstone power did turn off. And then if we do the same thing again, it stays on for a while and it turns back off. Now, so here's what's going on here. The goal for this video, not for the video, for this level, is to use these levers next to each other in order to have all of the lamps be turned on at the same time. And that's a lot easier said than done. But I did a lot of experimenting and I came up with a way to actually get it to work. And this is what I came up with. So basically, if you guys aren't aware of how a pulse lever works, I kind of already explained what a pulse lever is, but the way it works as far as redstone is concerned is that when I flick this lever, this lamp is going to turn on, which is going to force this redstone torch to turn off. It's also going to turn this redstone repeater on, and then the opposite goes with this side. So as soon as your torch turns off, what happens is that this line of redstone goes all the way to the back to this redstone torch, and then as soon as this repeater is done, or in the case of the other circuits, as soon as the entire line of repeaters is done, it then gets redstone power, which turns the torch back off. That's essentially how it works. And I just kind of went ham on this because I figured if I have a large one, I could actually customize quite a big delay. So then as soon as the redstone power comes to this side, it obviously is going to come to these repeaters, which both of them is going to power this redstone dust, which is going to unpower this redstone torch. And all three of these redstone torches have to turn off in order for the circuit to work. As soon as these redstone torches are off, this one gets turned on momentarily. Now, it doesn't matter on the fact that it's momentarily. So, basically, once this torch powers, this dropper is going to send an item into this chest. And because there's an item in this chest, the comparator detects it and brings up to full power. And it comes all the way back to this lamp. Now, this is not how it's going to be set up. Well, the actual pulse levers are going to be set up in this formation, not necessarily with this set of delays. I mean, at least as long as you understand the concept of what this level is, it really doesn't matter. But this is not how it's going to be set up. Or at least it's going to be. I think I'm kind of overthinking it. Basically, this is going to be how it's going to work, not the actual circuit itself is going to be replicated. So it's going to be completely different from when it's actually in the level. So as I already showed you, this one turns on for a long duration of time, regardless of what direction the lever is pulled. So if I go ahead and pull this lever, this one actually stays on for a very short amount of time. If I flick it the other way, it actually stays on for quite a bit longer. And then for this one over here, if we go and flick this one on, it does absolutely nothing. However, if we go ahead and flick this lever again, it's going to create ourselves a short pulse. Now, like I said, these 3 lamps all have to be on at the same time in order for this lamp to turn on, which is our end goal for the levels, to turn this lamp on. I'll explain more in a moment because I'm going to go into the actual behind locked doors world as soon as I'm done. So now you understand what's going on here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and flick this lever really quick because this one needs to have the longer pulse. And I need to go ahead and flick this lever up. And this lever, it doesn't actually matter what direction it is. So if I quickly go ahead and get all 3 of these levers flipped, and all 3 levers were on, lamps were on at the same time, and did that not work? That should have worked. I'm an idiot. It probably did in fact work. I didn't have anything put inside of it in order to do anything. So let me go ahead and fix that really quick. Alright, so I did not mean to do that. Sometimes I forget what my own controls are. Okay, go ahead and fix that. I do apologize about this, guys. Okay, let's go ahead and, if I put it here, there we go. And let's go ahead and drop a redstone dust into it. Okay, so it did in fact work. I just forgot to put something back inside the droppers. All that happened. So I'm going to flick this lever, because then we already have it set back up. 1, 2, and 3. And that should... No, it didn't, because I forgot this was in the wrong position. Okay. I, at times, am a complete idiot. So, let me double check. Is this one the short pulse? No, this one's the long pulse. So then if I turn this on... Alright, so that's the short pulse. Okay, so... I think we're all set and good to do this a second time. And I just kind of wasted that short amount of time, so let's go ahead and do this again. 1, 2, 3. And that worked. Now the one thing I do want to try to figure out, I think these lamps are supposed to be on before the other one is supposed to be on. I'm pretty sure. I didn't exactly pay close attention, but these should effectively be on before any of the rest of it, before this comes on. Yep, and I'm right. And so now I actually noticed that it's supposed to be on at a lot later than that. So I was in fact right. I didn't notice it before, but that's basic. This is basically how it's going to work. Now, if you remember back to one of my earlier levels, well, actually, I shouldn't say one of them. Actually, is it just one of them? I don't know, but I used a different way to be able to toggle this. However, there was a slight issue with it. So let me go ahead and quit and then go into my behind locked doors level. Alright, so now we're actually entering the map itself, and this right here is the rule room for the level, and then in here, this is going to end up being the actual level itself. Now, just so you guys are aware, well, actually, I think you guys already know, the redstone behind this is not actually set up as of just yet. However, this being the rule room, I did already go ahead and set up the example for it, and it's effectively the exact same thing. Obviously, it kind of has to be the exact same thing. But yes, so let's see. I was talking about how I used something different. Yes, so this is what I used for level 4, which is, no, level 3 card case. So what happens is this lamp turns on for a short duration of time, which toggles this. which I'm now thinking I might want to change this up. Now, this is not going to end up changing how the circuit itself works. But the reason why I'm changing... Actually, no, never mind. Because I literally just remembered exactly how this one works. So, basically, if you weren't aware, once this turns on, this repeater will force this lamp off, this torch off, which will allow this torch to turn on. And then this torch will keep this torch off and obviously come over here and power the door. Now, the problem with this particular circuit and this over here is that if I do not time it correctly, what ends up happening is it turns into a clock instead of just doing a simple toggle on, toggle off circuit. Because if I were to take one of this repeater off really quickly and then push it back down really quickly, you're going to notice that it is in fact going to create a clock. But I'm not going to do that right now because I don't want to mess up the redstone, even though I know how it works. So now let's go ahead and pop inside, and let me go ahead and grab this. So let's hop inside here. So here we are inside of level 5, or at least the rule room for level 5, lazy levers. Now I explained a little bit last episode exactly what this level is entailing, and I've already explained the redstone behind it. But for people who are not watching the series, but they are in fact playing the actual map itself, they need to know exactly what's going on, which is the reason why I build all these rule rooms. So here's how it goes. These levers hate their job. They don't like staying on for very long. What's worse, they don't like working together either. You need to figure out how to get them to be on at the same time. You'll have to do this twice, once on each side. You'll know you're successful when lamps on the end turn on. And I think I should probably change this so it says jobs instead of job. I didn't actually think about that initially. So obviously we have over here, just like the other rule rooms, where we have an example set up for us so we understand how the level's going to work. And so let's go ahead and look. The name of the game is timing, so pay close attention, as you guys already know. Some levers will only power in one direction, but in the case of this example, this lamp will actually power both times it is flipped. Now, that's just basically how this level is going to work. So here's what I have set up so far. So this is the actual level itself. Now, obviously, we're not going to have this button here. I'm going to be removing all of these buttons prior to actually publishing the map, because this is just so I can run through the entire map and not have to actually mess with any of the puzzles, just so I can be able to exit to the next level to check everything out. So here's how it's going to work. Now, you saw for a fact that the redstone behind these is not set up, like I keep saying over and over. So this is actually going to be slightly different, well, actually completely different from the first level, lights out. So we had this kind of configuration in lights out, except these were buttons and not levers. The way lights out worked, if you guys aren't aware, basically, like I said, these are going to be buttons, not levers, but this one does not go to this lamp, and this one does not go into this lamp, and so on and so forth. And there's actually 8 buttons within that room to run this. However, this time it's only 6, and this time this lever does in fact go straight to here. This lever does in fact go straight to here. And so the whole concept is that, obviously, like I said, you have to be able to have all 3 of these lamps turned on at the same time, and when that happens, this lamp will turn on, and the same goes with this side. You have to have all 3 of these lamps turned on at the same time to turn this lamp on. Once both of these lamps are on, obviously it's going to end up opening the door, because we have to have both sides working. So that's basically all there is to this level. Now, if I were to actually build the actual circuits behind these specific levers on camera, first off, you already understand how it works, and second off, you would effectively get a little bit of a spoiler as to what the solution for the actual level itself is, and that's not the intention. I'm trying to keep the series as spoiler free as possible because I have gotten a few comments and tweets from other people saying that they're not watching the series strictly to avoid spoilers, and like I just said, I'm doing my absolute best to make sure that doesn't happen. And now that I'm looking at this, I think what I may end up doing is changing the positions of these colored clay blocks, because it's just a little bit of a gradient going from one color to the next color in the proper order that you'd see like on a rainbow or a color palette or something. So I'm probably going to end up changing these out at some point, but I'm not going to do that right now. But that's basically it for this level. Like I said, I'm not going to be building anything in this level. I'm just explaining to you exactly how it all works, because like I said, I'm trying to not have any spoilers whatsoever, and because of that, that way you guys do not know what the solution is when you guys decide to go and play. Now, I will say that I have to build a massive AND gate in order for this to end up working. Now, how I'm going to end up wiring these two lamps together so that they both go into the door right here, I'm still trying to figure out how I want to go about doing that. What I think I may end up doing is reviewing level 1 and see if I can figure anything out from that side. But that's going to have to do it for this video. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. Also, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Thank you guys for watching, and with that, I will see you guys later.